Welcome back to the WHHI-TV Daily News. Joining me now is Chief Joe Babkiewicz, and he is, of course, the chief of the Bluffton Police Department. And as we all know, or at least if you get the Sheriff County's little dings on your phone, we've got a lot of traffic accidents happening in and around Bluffton, and of course the chief wants to do something about that. So, Chief, thank you for that. And I know you've just had a forum, and you have another one scheduled for September. So let's talk a little bit about what your focus is, what your goal is with those forums, and how things went on Monday night.
So our focus, first off, thank you for having me. Definitely appreciate being on here. One thing when I took over as chief of police back in January, when I was looking at numbers for the police department and the statistics, one thing that bothered me the most was the rise in traffic accidents throughout the years. Dating back to 2019 to 2022, you see a steady incline of accidents throughout this time, to where right about now we're averaging about 1,400 accidents a year just in the town of Bluffton. Wow. And that equates to over 100 accidents each month that our officers are responding out to. Tragically, this year we have had 5 fatalities, 5 fatal accidents where people tragically lost their lives due to an accident. And most recently, about a week and a half ago, we had one on 278. And so this is a growing concern of mine. It's a growing concern of the community. And so one of the first things I wanted to do was meet with our community members and talk to them about how we can partner together to try to make our roadways safer. Because I truly believe it takes a village to attack a problem like this. And I think with the combination of efforts between our officers here at the Bluffton Police Department, as well as Beaufort County and Highway Patrol, but also members in our community being aware of some safety issues, ways that they can try to prevent an accident from happening by driving safe for themselves. And so this meeting was an opportunity to sit down with them and have discussions with them. And one, not only hear their concerns, but to go over some safety ideas for them as they're driving.
And so let's detail those a little bit. What were some of the safety tips? Because I think you're right. It is important to be together as a community, not pointing fingers at each other, but trying to figure out how we can all work together to make this a better situation. So what were some of those tips that were discussed?
So we just started, the mayor is pushing out a new program that she's starting called Stay Safe Bluffton. And what it is it's a pledge that we are having people from the community sign, as well as all mayors from all towns within Beaufort County are jumping on board this. And so it's going to be a countywide thing to discuss. But the number one thing really is being aware of your surroundings when you're driving. Distracted driving is the number one cause to accidents, including with speed and other things like that. But mainly it's distracted driving. With cell phones, on the radio, there's so much technology going on. People are not paying attention to what's going on around them. So the number one thing is just creating awareness to parents and to kids that, when you're in that car, focus on what's going on around you, number one. And number two is just be a defensive driver. When you're at an intersection and that light turns green, give it a second or two to make sure somebody's not speeding down the roadway, trying to go through a red light. Right now we have, and part of the educational process for our community is, you hear across the country that law enforcement agencies are short-staffed, and we're no different. We are short-staffed, and on average, we have 4 to 6 officers covering 54 square miles and responding to 54,000 calls for service a year. In their free time, when they're not responding to a call, then they are out there being proactive. This past year, since January, we've stopped over 3,000 vehicles and issued either tickets or warnings for traffic violations, but it is really not having that much of an impact on the accidents. And so we need everybody's help to try to lower this number.
We absolutely do. And thank you so much, Chief, for being here today. There's so much more we could discuss, so I hope that you'll come back and join us again so we can keep talking about this important subject.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Betsy. We'll be back with more of the WHHI Daily News right after this.